beginners, and welcome to lesson 106 on reading and ordering decimal numbers through 10,000ths. So here we've got our place value chart, right? We already know about the tens and the ones, and then we've got the tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. Now we're adding one more, which is the 10,000ths. If we look at this in money, we knew that tens are like $10 bills, ones are like $1 bills, tenths are like dimes, there's 10 of them in a dollar. Hundredths are like pennies. There's 100 of them in a dollar. And now we've got a new word for you. It's called mils. Okay. I always think this is confusing because this is the thousandths place, not the millionths place. And mils sounds like millions, but nevertheless, that's the name that it is given, that you should know. But we've got thousandths, and then as a fraction, we can show these places as 1/10 for tenths, 1/100th for hundredths, 1,000th for thousandths, and we've got 1/10,000 for 1/10,000ths. So this is the way it would be written as a fraction. Let's jump into the examples. Use words to name each number. All right, this is really easy. You're going to do it just like we've always done. So whenever we have a decimal or a comma, it kind of breaks that section where we read it straight. So this number together is 12. Okay, and then you take the decimal and you're going to say, whenever you see the decimal place, we've got and, the word and now this we're going to read as one whole number. So what is this number? It's 625, and then the label is whatever place value it ends in. So since the 5 is in the tenths, hundredths, thousandths place, this is going to be 12 and 625 thousandths. 12 and 625 thousandths. All right, example B. You're going to do this one on your own. I'm just going to walk you through it. First, you're going to write what that number is in words. Then you'll write the word and. Then you'll write what this number is in words, and you'll add the ending of the place value of the last number. Rounding. So sometimes we've already done rounding if we have, like, one decimal number like 7.5. But remember that we can add as many zeros as we want after the last decimal number to make it a different number. So 7 and 5/10ths is the same thing as 7 and 50 hundredths, or 7 and 500 thousandths, or 7 and 5,000 10,000ths. Those are all representing 1/2, 7.5. And that's right here. Now we're going to figure out whether a number is closer to 7 or closer to 8 when it has more than just one decimal place. So for example, some numbers that might be between here and here would be numbers like 7.52, because 52 is bigger than 7.5. I'm basically just going to look at this first number right here. Okay, or another example would be 7.782. Okay, because 7 is bigger than 7.5. 7.7 is bigger than 7.5. On this side, numbers smaller than 7.5 might be numbers like 7.25 or 7.0111. Why not? Because the 0 is the place right after the decimal, and that's smaller than 0.5. Let's look at some examples of this. So the examples say round to the nearest whole number. So I've got 7.345, okay? Whole number means the number after the decimal. So I'm going to look at the one right before that, which is a 3. So I can think of this two ways. I can either just look at the 3, which I think is easier, and say, is that greater than or equal to 5? No, it's neither of those things. It's less than 5, so that means it's closer to 7, and this is just going to round to 7. I also could say, well, 345 has 3 decimal places, so if I were to compare it with half, which is that, is this number less than that? Yes, it is. So it's closer to 7, and it will go to 7. Let's look at this one. This one, I've got 4.501. So look at this place. And what do I think? It's closer to 5 because it's at 4.5. So that means that this whole thing is going to round up to 5 because it's closer to 5 than to 4. It's right in the half. Actually, it's even a little bit more than the half because it's got the 4.501. So this is going to round up to 5. All right, do this one. So you've got right now a whole number of 21. Look at the decimal, see if it is closer to 21 or to 22, and round it. The last thing in this lesson, well, actually there's 2 more things. It says to compare, give the same number of places. So here I've got 4.5, and I always write things vertically when I'm comparing them, and I line up their decimal places. So to compare these numbers, I'm going to put in zeros there, and now I'm going to look at these numbers. So I got 500 and I've got 456. Which one is bigger? 500. Do this one on your own. All right, here I've got order from least to greatest. So in order to order things, it's basically comparing, I need to write them vertically first. Okay, now I'm going to give them the same number of decimal places as the biggest number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm going to add 3 zeros here, 1 0 here, and 2 zeros there. Now I can look, it wants the least one first, so which of these numbers is smallest? Looking in the first place, I got a 4, a 4, a 5, and a 0. This one is definitely smallest. So I'm going to write that one first, 0.0475. Okay, after that, I'm going to go to the 4s. Is 4,500 or 4,570 smaller? This one is, so it's 0.45. Then 0.457. And then last of all is the 0.5. That's this whole lesson. Go ahead and get to work.